The richest man in town. The real meaning of wealth. What if I told you that the richest man in town wasn't actually rich? Sounds crazy, right? But what if I told you he had something far more valuable than money? Something that billionaires spend their whole lives chasing? Stick around, because this story might just change the way you see wealth forever. It all started in the quiet town of Riverdale, a town where everyone knew everyone, and where success was measured by the size of your house and the price of your car. And in this town, one man stood above the rest, Mr. Theodore Harrington III, the richest man in town. Or so people thought. One day, a young journalist named Jake, fresh out of college, was sent to interview Mr. Harrington for an article titled, "The Secret to Wealth." Now, Jake expected to meet a man living in a grand mansion, sipping expensive wine, surrounded by luxury. But what he found was nothing like that. Jake arrived at the address, but instead of a massive estate, he found a small, cozy house with a porch swing. Confused, he checked the address again. "This can't be right," he mumbled. Just then, an elderly man in simple clothes watering his garden looked up and smiled. "You must be Jake. Come on in, son." Jake hesitated. I was looking for Mr. Harrington." The old man chuckled. "That's me. But if you're looking for gold-plated door handles, you got the wrong guy." Jake was baffled. This man didn't look like a billionaire. Where were the bodyguards? The luxury cars? The butlers named Alfred? Over a cup of tea, Jake asked, "Sir, people say you're the richest man in town, but you don't seem to own much." Mr. Harrington laughed. You're looking for money. Let me tell you something, son. Money is just a tool. Real wealth is something else entirely." Jake raised an eyebrow. "And what's that?" Mr. Harrington leaned forward. "Let me ask you something. If I gave you $1 million, but you could never laugh again, would you take it?" Jake shook his head. "No way." "What if I gave you $10 million, but you could never spend time with your family again?" Jake hesitated, then sighed. "I wouldn't take it." Mr. Harrington smiled. "Exactly. Because wealth isn't about money, kid. It's about the things money can't buy. Health, happiness, love, time, and purpose. The richest people aren't the ones with the most money. They're the ones with the most life." Jake sat in silence. He had spent his whole life believing wealth was about fancy things. But here was a man, in a simple house, with no luxury cars, yet he seemed richer than anyone Jake had ever met. As he left, Mr. Harrington called out, "Remember, kid, money can buy a bed, but not sleep. It can buy medicine, but not health. It can buy a clock, but not time. Be careful what you chase, because the real riches in life are often right in front of you." Jake's article was never about how to get rich. It became about how to live rich. And the secret? It was never in bank accounts or stock markets. It was in the simple things. The laughter of a loved one, a peaceful night's sleep, a meal shared with family. So tell me, do you still think the richest person is the one with the most money? Or is it the one who has everything money can't buy? Comment below and tell me, what does wealth mean to you? And if this story made you think, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Because sometimes, the richest people aren't the ones we expect.